Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is another WIDA ACCESS exam preparation lesson, and today we're going to be doing speaking lesson number 2, which deals with the ELD standard of social and instructional language. So again, you can pause the video and read this introduction about important tips to remember about the WIDA ACCESS test, and then you can restart the video when you're ready to continue. So the speaking practice in this lesson focuses on social and instructional language. Social and instructional language is the language we use to communicate for social and instructional purposes within the school setting. This might include greetings, introductions, expressing preferences, requesting help, giving classroom instructions, talking about school schedules, describing tasks, or asking for clarification. All right, and so you can listen and read along with the instructions.
We're going to do a speaking exercise. Some questions might be easy for you, and others might be hard. It is important that you do the best you can. In this exercise, you will look at pictures and listen to people talking on a recording. You can follow along with the words on the screen while you listen. Listen carefully. You will hear each part only one time. The teacher will ask a student named Leela some questions too. Listen to Leela's answer. Her answers are examples. They will help you know how to answer the teacher's questions. When it's your turn to talk, you should say your answer clearly.
All right, and so for this exercise, they wanted you to put the sentences in the order that you hear them. So this was number 1. This was number 2. This was number 3. This will number 4. And this was number 5. All right, so to improve your speaking skills, remember these tips. Use the time you have. You are allowed thinking time before you respond to the question, so think and have a basic idea of a response before you click the record button. Speak loudly and clearly. Do not cover the microphone with your hand, mumble, or whisper. Talk the whole time. So try to talk the whole time the record timer is ticking. It will turn yellow when time is almost up, and this helps you demonstrate your vocabulary and ability to connect ideas. Do not click the stop button. It is okay to pause during your response, but once you hit stop, you cannot go back and add to your comments. And finally, use different sentence structures. Use different sentence patterns, complex sentences, and a variety of vocabulary.
Many students like to go on vacation during the summer break. You will listen and answer questions about where to go for summer vacation.
Summer vacation. Sabrina and Ollie are talking about where they want to go for summer vacation. Sabrina wants to visit the beach because she enjoys swimming in the ocean and the sunny weather. Ollie prefers the mountains because he likes hiking on trails and looking at the views. Both believe their choice is the best place to have a fun holiday.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, where does Ollie want to go for summer vacation? Why?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
Ollie wants to go to the mountains. He likes hiking.
Leela talked about where Ollie wants to go for summer vacation. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you which place you would choose to go on summer vacation, the beach or the mountains. Think about it.
Now it is your turn. Which place would you choose, the beach or the mountains? Why?
All right, remember to think for a bit before you start speaking. Then you would click the record button. In the actual test, the record button here doesn't do anything. It's just as an example. And then try to speak loudly and clearly for as long as you can. And then you can think about how you did. Um, some of these it would be difficult to measure. You don't know exactly how long you have for each question, but you can check to see if you felt like you answered the question completely, spoke loudly and clearly, used correct grammar, and used appropriate vocabulary. And here's a sample response.
I would choose the beach. I love swimming in the sea.
Sabrina and Ollie continue discussing their summer plans. Listen and answer the question.
Sabrina and Ollie continue discussing their summer plans. Sabrina explains that she loves the beach because she can swim, relax by the sea, and enjoy the warm sun. Ollie, on the other hand, prefers the mountains, where he can hike and explore different trails. They both consider other things, such as how much the trips would cost and how long it would take to get there. Sabrina thinks a beach trip would be less expensive because she could stay at a nearby seaside hotel or even camp on the shore, saving money. Ollie thinks the mountains might be closer to home and easier to reach by car, which would save on travel costs and let him spend more time hiking rather than driving.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, which trip does Sabrina think would be less expensive? Why?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
Sabrina thinks the beach trip would be less expensive because she won't need extra things like hiking gear. She also thinks it might cost less to stay there.
Leela talked about which trip Sabrina thinks would be less expensive. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you which vacation option is the better choice. Think about it.
Now it is your turn. After hearing more about both vacation options, which do you think is the better choice? Why?
I think the mountain hiking vacation is the better choice. It's closer to home, so it needs less travel time.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, how does each person's vacation choice fit their personality?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
Sabrina's choice of the beach matches her personality because she enjoys calm, relaxing places where she can spend time in the sun. Ollie's choice of the mountains fits him well since he likes exploring and being active, which shows he enjoys a more adventurous vacation.
Leela talked about how each person's vacation choice fits their personality. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you to think of another place where Sabrina and Ollie could go on summer vacation. Think about it.
And here are some tips of things you could think about. Consider things like cost, activities, and travel distance.
Now it is your turn. Where is another place Sabrina and Ollie could go on summer vacation? Why is it a better choice? Consider things like cost, activities, and travel distance.
Right, and now you can think about your answer according to this checklist. And here's a sample response.
Sabrina and Ollie could go to the lake. This is a better choice because it is cheaper. Also, Sabrina could relax by the water and Ollie could go hiking.
Hotels may have different meal options and places you can eat. Listen and answer questions about eating at a hotel.
Eating at a hotel. Hotels sometimes provide room service for breakfast, where guests can choose from different options delivered right to their rooms. For example, one breakfast might include scrambled eggs, toast, and fruit juice. Another choice could be pancakes with fresh berries and a side of yogurt. Each breakfast has different types of food to suit various tastes. While some guests may prefer a hot breakfast of oatmeal, others might enjoy a bowl of cereal with chilled milk. Room service lets guests decide which breakfast they would enjoy most, even though there may be only a few options to pick from.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, look at breakfast A. Which foods do you like and which do you dislike? What would you trade for the food you don't like?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
I like the scrambled eggs, toast, and the muffin. But I don't really like ham, so I would trade bacon for the ham.
Leela talked about which foods she would prefer for breakfast. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you which breakfast you would choose and why. Think about it.
Now it is your turn. Which breakfast would you choose? Why would you choose this breakfast instead of the other breakfast?
I would choose breakfast B. That's because I don't eat meat, and I love strawberries.
Continue thinking about hotel dining options. Listen and answer the question.
Hotels often offer different dining options to suit guest preferences. For lunch, many hotels have a buffet where guests can try a variety of dishes. like salads, sandwiches, pasta, and soups, along with fresh fruits and desserts. The buffet allows guests to try different kinds of foods, which is especially helpful for those who prefer smaller portions of different foods. Dinner, however, may offer a more formal dining experience, where guests order from a menu. Dinner choices might include options like grilled fish, pasta, or steak, often served with vegetables and rice. This option provides a sit-down meal in a more formal setting. By offering both the buffet and the restaurant, hotels give guests a choice between a quick, flexible lunch and a leisurely dinner, adding variety to their stay.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, why might a guest prefer the lunch buffet over a sit-down dinner?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
A guest might like the buffet because they can eat small portions of many different foods. This can be quicker and is good if they don't want to wait for a server. Some people might prefer it for lunch if they are busy or want to try different foods.
Leela talked about why a guest might prefer the lunch buffet over a sit-down dinner. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you why a guest might prefer eating dinner at the restaurant over the lunch buffet. Think about it.
Now it is your turn. Why might a guest prefer eating dinner at the restaurant over the lunch buffet?
A guest might prefer eating dinner at the restaurant over the lunch buffet because they can enjoy table service and a more formal atmosphere.
Now listen to the teacher ask Leela a question.
Leela, imagine the hotel wants to add another dining option, like a cafe. What are the advantages for guests?
Now listen to how Leela answers the question.
A cafe would give guests a casual, quick dining option if they don't have time for a full meal. People who just want a snack or coffee would prefer this option. Adding a cafe would give guests more choice and flexibility during their stay.
Leela talked about the advantages of opening a cafe for guests. Now it's your turn. In a moment, the teacher will ask you to imagine why a guest staying at the hotel for a week would prefer to have a variety of dining options. Think about it.
Now it is your turn. Imagine a guest is staying at the hotel for a week. Why would they prefer to have a variety of different dining options?
They would prefer having a range of dining options because they could eat something different every day. Also, they could choose something quick when they are in a hurry and something more formal when they have more time to eat.
All right, and that brings us to the end of today's video. You can do the reflection questions on your own. Also, like, subscribe, share the video, and leave a comment. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.